Good Thursday afternoon, everybody. This is Stephen Ray, and I wanted to jump here on social media and do once again another drive home forecast for you guys. And as you can see, basically, if you were in North Alabama, there are a couple of showers around the area. But if you are in central or southern Alabama, it is baking, it is hot, and it is going to be a pretty much dry drive home if you are driving along the Highway 84 corridor, but that will be changing into the overnight hours because we actually have a frontal system that is actually going to move through the area during the pre-dawn hours in the morning for the northern Alabama areas. Basically, all of this rain that you see up here towards the Arkansas and the Memphis area, all of this will be coming across the entire state of Alabama starting around midnight to 1 a.m. in the morning and then lasting all the way into tomorrow evening for the far southeastern portions of Alabama. So, getting into the pre dawn hours in the morning, it will be getting rather wet, especially if you were up here in northeast Alabama. So, let's go on ahead and start up here in northwest Alabama, up here towards the Hamilton area and the Haleyville area. If you are traveling along the Highway 5 corridor, or if you are just north of the I-22 corridor, there are a couple of strong thunderstorms near the Haleyville area that are moving towards the Double Springs area and basically paralleling 278 over here towards Addison and Arley. So if you are traveling between Hamilton and Coleman along the 278 corridor, just know that there are going to be a bunch of rain and thunderstorms. Basically, if you're traveling from Coleman over here to Addison, over to Haleyville, also up here to Hartselle as well. Also, if you are coming out of Coleman, going up towards the 157 corridor, or if you're heading up I-65 north of Coleman, going towards the Huntsville area, there is going to be a lot of heavy rain for your drive home. Also up here into the Huntsville, Athens, and Decatur areas as well. As you can see, Decatur's coming in at 74 degrees, and that is because rain has cooled the air up there. Now let's switch over and look at the Huntsville metro area. And if you are traveling home in the Huntsville area, here within about the next 45 minutes to an hour, there is going to be a batch of storms coming over here from Madison and Chapsaw, coming over here towards the Huntsville area. So it is going to be a wet drive home for the Madison and Huntsville area. Also, the Redstone Arsenal area as well, if you're traveling west across 72, or if you are traveling along 565 down there in downtown Huntsville. There are a couple of storms over here towards the Madison area that will impact your drive home a little bit later on this afternoon. Now, if you're over here towards the Fort Payne or Scottsboro area, nothing is showing up on radar, so it will be a dry drive home for you. Gadsden and Anniston, pretty much the same thing. There are a couple of small showers exiting Alabama into Georgia over here towards the Anniston and towards the Heflin and Tallapoosa, Georgia area, but those will not affect any part of Alabama as they are heading on off to the east. Now let's go in here to the Birmingham Metro, as yesterday afternoon we were not able to provide a drive home forecast, and the Barons game had to be postponed for a little bit because of a thunderstorm that popped up over downtown Birmingham. That is not going to be the case this afternoon, as pretty much everything is dry towards the Fairfield area, northern Birmingham, also the Smithfield area, Homewood, or if you're out here towards the Irondale area as well. So that is what's going on in the Birmingham metro area. If you are traveling along 459, 2059, or 65 in the Birmingham metro, basically everything looks dry for your drive home up there in downtown Birmingham, also in Shelby or Talladega counties. Now let's take a look here in the Tuscaloosa metro area. Also yesterday there were a couple of thunderstorms around the Tuscaloosa area. That is not the case today. If you are out here towards the Booth Estates area or Northport, Tuscaloosa, Alberta City, or Cottondale, your drive home is pretty much going to be dry and hot, as it is currently 88 degrees at the Tuscaloosa airport, and I have the radar turned on, and there is not any kind of rain in the entire county of Tuscaloosa, Bibb, or Pickens counties for your drive home over in East Alabama. Now let's go into South Alabama and go over here towards the Montgomery area, and there are a couple of showers up here towards the Wetumpka area, and moving over here towards the Azalea Wood Estates area over here on the far northeastern portions of the Montgomery metro area. But the Montgomery metro is pretty much dry if you are traveling along 85 going east, or if you're traveling up 65 going towards the Birmingham area, or if you're traveling up Highway 82 going between Montgomery and Prattville, and then eventually into Tuscaloosa. All is dry down here in the Montgomery metro area for your drive home. Now let's take a look over here at Auburn and Tuskegee, and also the Opelika area, and same thing, pretty much it's dry and hot. But nothing else is really going on right now over here towards the Auburn Opelika area, or over here towards the Phoenix City area and Columbus, Georgia. Now let's take a look and go a little bit further off to the south and go towards the Dothan metro area, also the Andalusia and the Enterprise area, and there are a couple of more spotty thunderstorms down here. We've got this batch that is coming north out of the state of Florida down here towards the Geneva area. We've also got this batch over here along the 84 corridor near Opp and Andalusia. So if you are down here in the far southern portions of Alabama, just know that there could be a wet drive home for you on the 84 corridor between Andalusia, Opp, and then Enterprise as well, because there are a couple of showers around the Enterprise area that just popped up. So that is the situation that is going on. There could be a couple of rogue thunderstorms that do pop up near the Dothan area, because there is an outflow boundary that is moving north into the city of Dothan right now. Also, there is a couple of storms and showers between Cottonwood and Ashford, Alabama, down here in the far southeastern corner of Alabama. And one final stop in the state of Alabama, we go to the Mobile metro area. And if you were up here in between Jackson and McIntosh on Highway 43, this includes Mount Vernon, and this also includes the Leroy area. Just know that your drive home is going to be impacted by that storm that is basically sitting there on Highway 43, moving on off to the north, and it's actually trying to just sit in that one spot just north of McIntosh, also down here towards the Malcolm area as well, and also the Leroy area in between McIntosh and Jackson. And this is down here in southern Clark County and also into Washington County. And then down here in the Mobile metro area, there are a couple of showers coming over here towards the Spring Hill area, just off of 98. Also, there are a couple of showers up here towards the Rose Haven area, but those are moving more towards the Pritchard and the Saraland Chickasaw area and not really going to impact downtown Mobile. It does not look like today. And if you are down here along the immediate coastline, there is one lone shower that is pushing over here towards the Perdido Pass area, also over here towards the Perdido Key area. If you are traveling along 182 or Perdido Beach Boulevard, there's going to be a little bit of a wet drive home for you. But getting over here towards the Canal Road area, or getting over here towards the Gulf States Park, or if you're traveling anywhere along Highway 59 down here in southern Baldwin County, your drive home looks to be dry but hot. So that is the situation that we have ongoing right now for the state of Alabama. A couple of showers, but you do know this red cone right here, and I have to bring this up. Unfortunately, we have a tropical storm now that is Tropical Storm Elise, and as you can see, it is supposed to cross the Lesser Antilles by tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and then cross into the Caribbean Sea, and then be sitting near the Tampa, Florida area, just off to the west of Cape Canaveral at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. And now the models have not been in good agreement here lately as to where this system is going to go after it reaches over Cuba. So there could be a couple of places that basically need to watch this area, basically from Lake Charles, Louisiana, all the way around the bend down here into the Keys of Florida, because anywhere within this line could potentially see a landfalling hurricane by the time we get into the Wednesday or Thursday time frame of next week. So once again, all eyes after the 4th of July weekend need to turn to the Caribbean Sea and the southeastern portions of the Gulf of Mexico to see where Tropical Storm Elise happens to be coming. And unfortunately, if you guys have any 4th of July plans, or if you know of anybody that is going to either St. Lucia or Martinique in the U.S. Virgin Islands, also Barbados, you just need to know that there is a tropical storm that is coming towards your location within the next few days. And currently, right now, here is the current advisory. And there you can see right there, as of 4 p.m., which was 12 minutes ago, maximum sustained winds were at 45 with gusts to upwards of 60. And this storm is moving off to the west-northwest at a very fast clip. So it is located about 300 miles to the south of Barbados right now, which is in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So once again, we're going to have to really watch this coming up here within the next week or so to see where exactly it goes here in the United States of America. And yes, this could even possibly impact the Alabama Gulf Coast. There is always a possibility when you have a storm system coming into the Gulf of Mexico, there is always the possibility of the storm impacting the Alabama Gulf Coast. So that is why we need to keep all eyes on this next week as we move into the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday time frame. But once again, for the immediate future, there are a couple of thunderstorms that are going to impact you along the 278 corridor, basically in between the Haleyville area and the Coleman area, and especially if you are over here towards the Double Springs area right now, as this batch of storms is moving on off to the east at a very fast clip, and they are producing a lot of heavy rain. Now, as we get into the pre-dawn hours in the morning, all of this rain that you see around the Memphis area is going to be moving in our direction across here, and I would venture to say that a good portion of the state of Alabama will see some type of rain within the next 24 hours as this batch of rain moves over the entire state of Alabama during the next 24 hours. So it could start as early as 2 a.m. in the morning for the northwestern portions of the area and last until tomorrow evening and tomorrow night for the far southeastern portions of Alabama. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday afternoon. Make sure that you drive safe if you do encounter ponding of water on the roads or flooded roads, and we could have a wet commute in the morning for a couple of places, especially north of the 2059 corridor. I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. I will see you guys right back here on social media for another drive home forecast tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. Now, for those of you in Alabama, I am signing off. I'm going to switch over here in just a second to the Mississippi side of things to give you a drive home forecast in Mississippi. Alabama, I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock. God bless. Good Thursday afternoon, everybody. It is currently 4:18, and I just switched over and put everything over in Mississippi. So we will give Mississippi folks a couple of minutes to jump on, and I will give you guys a drive home forecast as well. As you can see, a lot of heavy rain is falling, and especially if you are up here towards the Memphis or the South Haven, Mississippi areas, as all of this rain is going to be moving across the northern portions of Mississippi tonight and into the day tomorrow, as we have a frontal system that is going to transform and basically come across the entire state of Mississippi. But I wanted to start off by saying, if you guys are Mississippi State fans, let me just go on ahead and say congratulations to the Mississippi State Bulldogs on becoming the national champions in college baseball last night. So if you're watching this and you're a Mississippi State fan, let me go on ahead and say to you guys, Hail State and congratulations. All right, so here's what we've got going on. We have a line of rain that is moving through the Memphis area right now, about to get down here into the I-55 corridor that is basically coming in here towards the Hernando, Mississippi area and the South Haven, Mississippi area. Also, if you are traveling along 269 or 69, there is a heavy batch of rain that will impact your drive home around the Memphis metro, and especially if you are driving from Memphis south into Mississippi. And if you're down here towards the Senatoba, Mississippi area or the Coldwater, Hernando, Mississippi area, this storm that is crossing the Mississippi River right now will be impacting your drive home. within the next 40 minutes or so. Also, there are other storms of concern down here in between Holly Springs and New Albany, Mississippi, along the 22 corridor. Also, if you are out of New Albany, coming north on the 15 corridor, just know that there's going to be a couple of showers and storms for your drive home, and especially if you are up here towards the Memphis area, also down here towards the Oxford area along the 278 corridor. There is going to be a lot of rain showers for your drive home, maybe some thunder and a lot of ponding of water on the roads, and especially if you are traveling from Oxford down County or the Highway 7 corridor, moving down here towards the Water Valley area and the Taylor, Mississippi area. Also, if you are coming east and southeast on 278 out of the Oxford area, heading over here towards the Tupelo and Pontotoc, Mississippi area, just know that there are a couple of showers in that area. Now, the Tupelo, Mississippi area is pretty much dry right now for your drive home if you are traveling up the 178 corridor, or if you're traveling along the 22 corridor. There are a couple of storms between Tupelo and the state line of Alabama. So if you're traveling over here towards the Fulton, Mississippi area or the Tremont area, just know that there's going to be some ponding of water on the roads and wet roadways on the far eastern portions of I-22 between Tupelo and the state line of Alabama. Now let's go a little bit further off to the south and check in on our friends down here along the 45 corridor or the the Highway 82 corridor, and there are a couple of storms over here west of Starkville that just popped up. So if you're watching in Starkville about to head home, especially along the Highway 82 corridor and the 182 corridor over here towards the Oakwood Estates area, just know that there are going to be a couple of showers and storms that do impact your drive home for the Starkville, Mississippi area, home to the brand new national champions. So congratulations once again. Now, if you are near the Columbus area along 45 and 82, all is dry in downtown Columbus, Mississippi right now, and especially if you are heading north or south on 45, or if you're traveling east or west on Highway 82 around the Columbus, Mississippi area. Now let's go a little bit further off to the south towards the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. And as you can see, pretty much all is dry around the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. All of the green that you see on your radar screen is basically ground clutter. So if you're traveling north out of Jackson towards the I-55 corridor, towards the Ridgeland area, or if you're traveling along the 49 corridor coming up here towards the Pocahontas, Mississippi area, all is dry. Then, of course, as you get down here towards the 20 corridor, going east towards Brandon or going west, everything is pretty much dry for your drive home in the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. The same thing is happening over here in the Vicksburg, Mississippi area. All is pretty much dry, but it is hot. As you can see, it is 94 degrees over here in Vicksburg, Mississippi right now. Now let's go a little bit further off to the south. There are a couple of showers over here west of Brookhaven, Mississippi. If you are down here along the 84 corridor, or if you are along the 55 corridor in between Brookhaven and Macomb, Mississippi, there are just a couple of small spotty showers during the Pine Belt area of Mississippi down here. And there's a couple of other storms that are impacting the 61 corridor south of Natchez, coming down here towards the Woodville, Mississippi area. So just know that 61 south of Natchez, you could impact a couple of small showers down here towards the Possum Corner area of Mississippi. And a couple more stops. I want to take a look over here into the Hattiesburg, Mississippi area, and all is dry in the Hattiesburg, Laurel, and Ellisville metro areas. And if you were over here towards the Petal area, stretching down towards the Purvis area right now, all is dry for your drive home. It is currently 88 degrees in the Hattiesburg area right now. The visibility is 10 miles. And up here towards the Ellisville and the Laurel area, all is dry, but once again, it is hot with a temperature of 87 degrees right now. And one more final stop if you are down here along the immediate coast, along the I-10 corridor, also down here towards the Pascagoula, Mississippi area, over here towards the Bay St. Louis and the Gulfport area. There are a couple of thunder showers down here that could impact your drive home as they are moving north towards the Ocean Springs area off of the coast, but as of right now, everything is dissipating and dry along the immediate coast in between Gulfport, Long Beach, and Biloxi, Mississippi. But I did want to mention, let me go a little bit further off to the north, and let me go over here. All right, so the National Weather Service in Memphis has issued a flash flood warning for DeSoto County in northwestern Mississippi until 5:15 because flash flooding was observed by trained spotters because between 1 and 1.5 inches of rain has fallen across the northern portions of DeSoto County in Mississippi, and an additional 1 to 1.5 inches is possible over the warned area through 5:15. So there's only one flash flood warning, and it does include the South Haven, Mississippi area. It also includes the Collinsville, Germantown, Olive Branch, Mississippi areas as well as Midtown Memphis and Southeast Memphis. So once again, because of this thunderstorm that is sitting over here along the Mississippi River, the National Weather Service up in Memphis has issued a flash flood warning because flash flooding has been spotted by trained spotters in northeastern DeSoto County until 5:15. So remember, turn around, don't drown when you encounter flooded roads. Most flood deaths do occur in vehicles. So if you're traveling along the 269 corridor or the 55 corridor here within the next 30 minutes, just know that there is a heavy thunderstorm coming from Horseshoe Lake heading down towards the Hernando, South Haven, and the Coldwater, Mississippi area. So please watch out for flooding of water along the roads if you are in the far northwestern portions of Mississippi driving home over the next hour or so. And one more bit of information that I do want to throw to you guys. As you can see, we have yet another tropical system to deal with. And this tropical system is Tropical Storm Elisa. Now, this is the 4 o'clock update. As you can see, winds are at 45 miles per hour with maximum gust upwards of 60. And the storm moves towards the west-northwest, and it is booking it right now as it is moving at 25 miles per hour. Now, let me just go ahead and say this. Tuesday at 1 p.m., you can see that the storm is supposed to be sitting west of Cape Canaveral, Florida. And at this point, it could move anywhere towards the Florida area, or it could turn more towards the northwest and impact places like New Orleans, Gulfport, or Mobile. So, we really need to keep our eyes on the progression of Tropical Storm Elisa as we get into the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday time frame of next week, because anybody right now across the northern Gulf is still under the gun and fair game to see impacts from Elisa right now. So once again, if you are from basically Lake Charles all the way around to the bend of Cape Canaveral, Florida, or the Keys, which does include the areas down here towards the beaches of Mississippi, you need to watch this area for the potential of impacts towards the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame from Tropical Storm Elise. So guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Remember, there's going to be a lot of heavy rain across the northern portions of Mississippi, basically north of the Highway 82 corridor for the rest of this evening and into the overnight hours, as this whole front is going to come across the entire state of Mississippi into the day tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, a great day tomorrow, and I will see you right back here on social media tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock for your finally Friday drive home for the holiday weekend. God bless.